WTFsutter. We're in the mill for the show. We're doing a cemetery scene in the finale, and we actually have to bring in the veteran headstones. It's not a veteran cemetery, so all those headstones you see are actually footstones, and we come in and we put these headstones on top of that. And we usually fill a field, and then in post I'll usually add hundreds and hundreds of more to create the illusion of a veterans cemetery. Clearly I don't get to the mill very much. Here's our question for this week. Hey Kurt, my name is Deanna. I'm from Milan, Illinois. Oh, I almost broke into an Italian accent, but it's Milan, Illinois. Could you tell me anything about the homeless lady? I've seen her in every season so far. Well, not this season yet. Does she have something to do with the club? Great season so far. Thanks for creating an awesome show. Deanna from Milan, Illinois. My sort of pat standard answer for the homeless lady is that she is who she is, and she represents what she represents. Basically, that's just a cryptic, interesting way of saying I'm really not quite sure what the fuck she is. Now, for me, there's a bit of a mythical component to the homeless lady, and hopefully I'll get to play that out if we continue to tell the story we're allowed to tell, and the plan is for her to overall sort of tie in at some point. But right now I root her in as much reality as I possibly can, and more will be revealed. Let's try another one here. Hi, this is from Chris Rays. Hi Kurt. I'm a longtime fan of the show. I started watching season 1 right before season 2 started. I've been hooked ever since. So my question is, which scene do you think was more powerful or had more of an impact? The scene or montage where Gemma tells Jax and Clay about her being raped by Zobel's crew, or the scene where Jax is following the people who adopted Abel in the marketplace in Belfast? In my opinion, those two were my two favorite scenes from all the episodes so far. And of course, Opie finally killing Stahl and Chips killing Jimmy O. I think those scenes are two really great performances by my actors in those scenes. It was very interesting that Gemma scene where she's telling them about the rape. There were only, because it was a montage pop, there were originally only snippets of information, and we ended up writing a much longer scene, so to give the actor something to work with to bring themselves to the moments that I thought I would be filming. And it ended up being that additional information, and what Katie did with it ended up being so sort of interesting and powerful. It became part of the entire montage. So a lot of the information, a lot of the dialogue in that scene originally wasn't scripted, but it was a really powerful scene, and I think the combination of the music and the performances were really potent. And for me, the scene in the marketplace in Belfast was it was just one of those pivotal moments, or at least I'd like to think it was for the character of Jax, and ultimately making that decision, and all the information that Kellen was feeding him, and ultimately the goal that his father had for him, and the separation of his family from the club, I think starts to bleed into Jax. So when that all starts to happen, and he sees that kid, his son, with his happy family, there is that moment of, am I doing my family a disservice by keeping them in this world, and obviously that theme resonates throughout the whole throughout the whole series, and clearly very evident in as we come into season 4. So I do think it was a pivotal moment for the character of Jackson, and for the actor too. Charlie and I have talked about that scene and prepping for the work that he's doing in this season. So that's the deal. Thanks for your questions. I'm almost halfway through. I'm halfway through day 5. It's Friday, I think, and we have another week on this shoot for the finale. Grinding away, and thanks to all the fans. People are showing up for the show, and the numbers have been great, and the feedback has been great. Thank you for all the Twitter feedback, my little explosion this morning on Twitter. But I just want to clarify, if I may, what a cunt blogger actually is. Not to be confused with a critic or reviewer, whom I've said more than once that there are a lot of good ones out there. I've specified several, from Tim Goodman, Sepinwall, Mo Ryan, Pozuwanik, whatever the fuck your name is, dude. You're good. That guy, and there's a lot of good, talented reviewers, and the people I'm mentioning are not necessarily people who have written me good reviews. A lot of them have not. So my point was really specifically to all the fucking douchebags out there that have a Blogger account or a Tumblr account who just inundate my fucking Twitter with with their opinions on my show, and it just gets overwhelming, and the truth is, if you're going to have a snarky, angry opinion about my show, then I'm allowed to have a snarky, angry opinion about your fucking opinion, and that's sort of where that came from. But I'm sure it'll end up getting me in trouble at some point, but that's the way it goes. I think episode 7 is airing this Tuesday. I think you should be there for that. I think it'll be a big one. And what else? Episode 11 is officially 90 minutes. The network signed off on that, and the finale will at least be 90 minutes. So more is better. So thanks for paying attention, and we'll do it again a couple more times.